Master Sergeant Montez, and I want to share a little story. In 1991, I was activated as a 19-year-old young man, Lance Corporal, to fight in Desert Storm. The war was very short. It was only 100 hours long. After the war, I remember as a tow gunner, we came into the city of Kuwait City. And as I rode into Kuwait City, we saw people on the side of the road. And we pulled over, and I saw this young kid, about 14 years old, and he had his finger in the air, and he came straight to me, and he looked me in the eyes. This young Muslim boy looked me in the eyes and said, "America is number one." I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but when this young Muslim boy came to me at 19 years old and looked me in the eyes and told me, "America is number one," it blew me away. Because at that age, at 19, I don't even remember saying that this country was number one. I remember being in high school saying that high school sucked, but I didn't remember saying that this country was number one. And when that kid told me that, it intrigued me. I wanted to know, why did he think our country was number one? Here I am, over 19,000 miles away from Florida, and he's telling me my country's number one. And I asked him, he spoke English, and he says, "Well, when the enemy came in, he said, they took my father and they killed him. He said, they took my mother and they raped her. So they took my 14-year-old daughter, my sister, and they cut off her legs and raped her too." But he said, but when the Americans showed up, when the Marines showed up, the bad guys left. Hoorah! And he said, that's why America's number one. And it was the first time in my life that I understood what this young man was talking about. He was talking about a word called freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, freedom is an oxymoron word, because freedom is not free. If it wasn't for a young man who died and served this country, or a woman that served this country during the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraqi freedom, Afghanistan, if it wasn't for a young man or woman that sacrificed their lives, we would not be reaping the benefits that they sown into our lives. Who's to say December 7th, 1941, when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor and the Pacific Fleet was sunk and everything was gone and destroyed? Who's to say if they would have won this tonight, we would have walked in this room and we would have said, "Konnichiwa."
That's the truth.
Who's to say if Hitler was successful that we wouldn't be speaking German right now instead of English? But no, ladies and gentlemen, it was a young man or woman that gave themselves for this country and sacrificed. Now I understand what that young man was talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, it is true. America is number one. Thank you.